Hey, Tyra, are you there? I was just wondering whether or not you are already on your way. Do you think you're going to be able to make it on time? I hope that you're at least close.
Oh, hey there, Sarah. Yeah, I am actually not going to be able to go today. Did you not hear that I wasn't going to show up? I thought you would have heard.
Hold on a second. What do you mean that you're not going to go today? What are you talking about? I mean, you do know that your mother-in-law's funeral is today, right? Your husband's mother? You're really not going to come at all today?
I know what's going on today, thank you very much. And the thing is that I really did try to get up on time, but I just couldn't bring myself to wake up fast enough. So there's really nothing to be done about it now. I mean, even if I were to leave the house right now, I still wouldn't make it on time. And I still have to get ready and all of that, so...
Okay, so let me get this straight. You're telling me that you actually slept in on the day of my mom's funeral?
Yeah, that's right. I slept in today. But again, it's not my fault. Whoever scheduled the funeral for this early in the morning should have thought better about it. I mean, did they really think that people were going to wake up so early just to go to a funeral? And I know some people spent the night there, but that is just not me, not my style. Besides, I already told Harry that I slept in and wasn't going to be able to make it there on time. So I thought that he would have told you this already. Has he not done that?
No, he hasn't told me, if you must know. And just what is it with this horrible attitude that you're giving me right now? Even when she was having her last night in the hospital before she passed away, you said that you'd be here. And then you didn't show up to that either. You don't want to try and make up for that?
Oh my gosh, here we go again. How many times am I going to have to remind you that I had work at the last minute and wasn't able to go? But I really did want to go there. I heard that you all had gone out for a fancy dinner before, and I really, really wanted to be there for that. Oh man, I was thinking about the dinner I missed out on all day.
I wonder if you have any idea at all just how terribly rude you're being right now. Do you even realize what you're saying?
Oh please. The only rude one here is whoever decided to put this damn funeral this early in the morning. I mean, some of us have work to do and like to use our days off to sleep in. Not get up at dawn for some depressing event. And you all were rude for going out for that fancy meal when you knew that I wasn't going to be able to join you all when your mom was in the hospital or whatever.
Okay, I really don't want to and just can't deal with any of this right now. But are you telling me that you really have no feelings for my mom at all? Even after all that she's done for you, you still feel okay talking about her like this?
What in the world are you even talking about? I mean, we didn't even know each other all that well. And by the time Harry and I were married, she was already in the hospital.
What in the world are you talking about? My mom did so much for you. How could you even say that?
Well, I guess now that you mention it, your mom did give Harry and I the money we needed to put down on our house. And yeah, of course, I'm really grateful to her for doing something like that. But it's not like I was the one who even asked her to do that in the first place anyways, you know?
And just what do you mean by that? What difference does it even make?
Well, I'm just saying that it was Harry who went and asked your mom for the loan, right? So again, I'm grateful that she did cough it up when he asked, but I don't really feel like I need to go out of my way to be thankful or anything.
Okay then, where are you and Harry living right now? Because last time I checked, it was the house my mom helped you both buy. So you don't think that you should maybe just be a little more thankful than you're being right now?
If you're trying to force me to say yes, it's not going to work. I already told you that I am thankful, but not too much, and I think you should accept that. I mean, do you really think your mom wants everyone coming to her funeral out of some feeling of obligation to her? You think she wants me standing over her just so that I can say thank you?
That's not what I'm saying, and you know that. You're not being fair at all in how you're framing this.
No, I'm only responding to what you're trying to tell me. So if you don't have your thoughts together to be able to express to me what it is you want from me, then I suggest backing off. The point is that your mom gave us those $300,000 on her own volition. And so that's why I don't feel guilty for sleeping in and missing your mom's funeral.
I just want to tell you now that you will regret this. You may not know it now, but you will regret what you're doing here.
Oh, yeah? And just who is going to make me regret it, huh? What are you going to do to try and make me regret this? As far as I'm concerned, I'm free to attend this funeral if I want to. I don't think that you have a right at all to try and boss me around or guilt me into showing up.
Okay, whatever. I think that we're through here. But just know that one day you are going to pay for this, and it won't be cheap.
What in the world are you even talking about? I think that your grief is driving you crazy.
Hey, Harry, do you have a second to text really quick? I was just curious about why Tyra isn't at the funeral today.
Oh, geez. Yeah, she told me that she slept in this morning and wasn't going to be able to make it since she would still have to get ready and all. But I thought that you and her were just having a conversation earlier, no?
Oh, we were talking. You're right about that. But I just wanted to make sure that you know about why she wasn't here. And how come you didn't tell me the reason for why she wasn't going to be here when you first arrived?
Well, it's just that Tyra is always missing out on big family events like this. I just thought it could be taken for granted at this point. But you know that I was going to miss this, right? And you should know that I'm having a lot of trouble now too, especially with money. But I wasn't going to miss being here for Mom.
I'm sorry, Harry, but I really don't think that we should be making excuses for why we are or aren't here. Can't we just stop all this nonsense and just agree to celebrate Mom's life?
I'm not trying to make excuses for anybody or anything. You're the one that keeps trying to nitpick everyone and tell them how to act at a funeral. Well, maybe you should just stop trying to direct your angry and sad feelings toward everyone else. You ever think about that?
Is that what you think I'm doing? You think I'm just trying to bully people around me because I'm upset? Why can't you take this more seriously? I mean, why can't you just admit that Tyra slept in to miss this on purpose?
Of course she did. I'm not denying that at all. But you need to understand that for Tyra, it's just her mother-in-law. It's not like her actual mother. And I don't think there's actually any need for her to be there anyways. Besides, Tyra is still young and has a lot to learn about being an adult, you know? So I don't think you should really blame her for being a bit prideful.
Harry, you do know who it was that gave you the money so that you two could buy the house that you're both living in now, right?
Yes, Sarah. I am more than familiar with who that money came from. Thank you very much. And just who do you think you are trying to play that card with me when it wasn't you, huh?
What is that supposed to mean? What card is that you think I'm playing, huh?
I mean that you were the one that gave us the money, so I don't understand why you were bringing it up and acting as if that's something you can try to lord over us. Look, it's like you said, we're here at Mom's funeral to be here for Mom. So how about you stop trying to make everything about yourself and let's just get through this.
How could you say something like that to me? Do you actually think that that's what I'm doing? That really hurts my feelings. Besides, you're the one who was still getting an allowance from Mom up until the day that she died.
Oh, come on. You know that that's not fair. My company was downsizing and I was really in a bad way. Besides, I don't see what any of this has to do with Mom and Tyra. Honestly, you always do this. Why do you always have to try and point out flaws and problems with people? Is this how you think Mom would want us to act at her funeral?
And just who are you to try and pretend like you know what Mom likes and what she doesn't like?
Who am I? That's rich coming from you. I'm her brother. So I have just as much right to talk about this as you do. And all I'm saying is that this is a pattern for you.
Okay, whatever. I don't know why I even bothered trying to bring this up with you in the first place.
That's right. Just get upset and run away like you always do. You're the one that needs to grow up.
Hey, Sarah. I just wanted to run something by you real quick, but I don't think that we should see you anymore. This whole thing just isn't working out.
Tyra, what in the world are you talking about? And who do you mean by we?
Who do you think I mean by we? I'm talking about Harry and I, of course. Harry told me all about how horrible you were being to him at the funeral. Honestly, you've got some serious nerve trying to lecture your own brother at a funeral. Did you really think that was okay to do? You're so rude.
I'm rude. Is that supposed to be a joke or something? The whole reason we got into that fight was because of you.
No, that can't be right. How could it have been my fault? Don't you remember that I slept in? How could it have been my fault if I wasn't even at the funeral to begin with? You know, this really is so you to get this mad and try to blame everyone around you for your problems. But I guess it does make you your mother's daughter. You two were sure alike in that regard.
Why are you acting like this? I mean, don't you even realize how horrible you're being to me? And how could you talk about my late mother that way? Do you seriously just have no respect for the dead at all? What did she ever do to you?
Well, she gave Harry and I the money we needed to buy the house. And then she went and kicked the bucket, so maybe I am being too harsh on her. But as for you, you're the one that keeps trying to use the memory of your mother to guilt Harry and I into feeling bad for just living our lives.
It doesn't sound like you're even all that grateful for all that my mom actually did do for you.
That's right. I guess I'm not, after all. I mean, having the house is great and all. But to be honest, I never wanted a house. I've always wanted to live in a big, fancy condo instead.
So then you don't even like the house that you're living in? You don't care about it at all?
Yeah, pretty much. It's not my favorite place, and I'd happily trade it out for something better. But whether I have it or not doesn't really make any difference to me at all. So that's why when you keep nagging at me about how grateful I should be acting, all for that lame place, it really starts to get under my skin.
Hold on a second. You said that place. Does that mean you're not at home right now?
What do you mean? Just why do you want to know where I am, and what makes you think I should have to tell you?
Well, you said that you overslept, right? So I'd assume that you were still at home. But you actually haven't been at home since this morning, isn't that right?
What is this? What gives you the right to interrogate me like this, huh? Just who do you think you are? I'll have you know that I am home, actually. Besides, you're still at your mom's stupid funeral, so just how are you supposed to know where I am and where I'm not? Answer me that.
Wow, so you're even going as far as to lie to me about being at home. Well, I suppose I should take this to mean that you're hiding something, aren't you?
I seriously have no idea what in the world you could be talking about. But I am telling you that I have been at home all morning and nobody has left or come to the house. I really think that you need to step back from all of this and give yourself some time off. You are just acting like a crazy person now, and I don't like it one bit.
Well, okay then. I guess I'll just look forward to seeing you tomorrow, won't I?
I'm not looking forward to any of it. If you want me to be perfectly honest with you. Sarah, are you there? Please, you have to answer me right away. This is really, really serious. Something just horrible has happened.
Tyra, what do you mean by that? What horrible thing has happened to you? Is everything all right?
Well, I was just wondering if yesterday you got some kind of warning for a tornado or something like that on your phone. I mean, any kind of natural disaster or anything?
I don't really recall getting any kind of warning in particular like that. But why do you ask this?
It's our house! Our house has vanished. It's gone. I have no idea where it went, but it's not where it should be, and I don't know what to do at all.
Oh, wow. Well, that sounds like quite the pickle to be in, doesn't it? It sucks for you.
I'm seriously starting to freak out a little here. I mean, the whole house has just disappeared. What am I supposed to do? And what about Harry? How am I going to explain this to him? When is he supposed to be getting back from the funeral again?
Well, I imagine that Harry would probably be arriving back there any minute now. The timing would be right for it.
But how am I supposed to tell him about what happened to our house? I mean, there's nothing to even show him. Hold on a second. If you didn't get a tornado warning or anything like that, then it had to be aliens, right? I mean, there's no other logical explanation for what could have happened to it.
Yeah, I mean, it is a real head-scratcher for sure. I seriously wonder what could have possibly happened to it.
The whole space where our house used to be is just one giant empty lot now. It was here yesterday morning, and now it's all gone.
Tyra, I just want to confirm with you that you were actually at home all day yesterday, right?
What are you talking about? What does it have to do with anything that we're talking about?
Well, it's just that when we were talking yesterday, you said that you've been at home since the morning, remember? But then, just now, you said that the house was there yesterday morning. Do you see what I'm trying to get at?
Oh shoot, no. That was just a typo. I mean that the house was here this morning and now it's gone. I had actually just stepped out to run some errands, and when I came back, it was gone. And I still have no idea at all what could have happened to it. None of this makes any sense at all.
I see. So then, if you had just stepped out to do some errands, you must have only been away from the house for a few minutes, right?
Well, yes. No. What is the point of this question, huh? What are you trying to get me to say here?
Nothing really, but I suppose now is as good a time as ever to let you know that your house actually belonged to me.
Our house belonged to you? What is that supposed to mean? Did you have something to do with this?
Well, you thought that it was my mom who had given you the money for the house, but it was actually me. And just like you thought it was my mom's name on the deed of the house, it was, in fact, my name. We only said that it was my mom who gave you the money because we were afraid you wouldn't take it if you knew where it came from. But anyways, all that to say that I was the one who called the demolition crew and had them tear down your house. After all, it was really my house.
You had a demolition crew tear down our house? Why in the world would you do something like that? What's the matter with you? I don't care what you have to say for yourself. That's taking things way too far, don't you think? I seriously can't believe that you do this to us.
I'm sorry. I think there must have been some kind of confusion here. I mean, I really didn't think that you'd be reacting this way. After all, you should have known this was happening. If you were only away from home for a few minutes, then you must have noticed the crew. There's no way they could tear the house down, clear it into a lot, and leave all in such a short span of time.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true, but I still don't see the point that you're trying to get at with all of this. Can't you just spit it out already?
Well, you seem to think that your house was literally whisked away by aliens. But who knows? Maybe it just evaporated into thin air. I would suggest actually looking into those crazy claims before you actually try and pass them off as the truth, though. Because the fact of the matter is that if you were actually at home, like you said that you've been, there is no way that a crew could have torn your house down without you noticing.
But I was at home, I swear. I really had only stepped out of the house for a few minutes is all. You have to believe me. The house was fine where it was yesterday.
If that's actually true, then tell me, how could it be possible for the house to disappear like that without you noticing?
Okay, just what kind of game are you trying to play here, huh? Because now I'm just starting to get upset with you. I know that you had something to do with this. You were playing coy and trying to get me to say I don't know what. But all I do know is that you are seriously starting to piss me off now. Just tell me what you did.
I think you have it backwards here, Tyra. I've already told you exactly what I did. I hired a demolition crew to bulldoze down your house and turn the space into an empty lot. You're the one insisting both that your house is gone and that you would have been at home when it vanished, and yet you don't know what happened either. So the only thing that we can deduce from all of that is that either A, your house was taken by aliens or disappeared in some freak of nature accident, or B, you weren't at home at the time that you said you were home. And I think one is much more plausible than the other.
I see. So this is what you're trying to get at. You want me to come out and say that I wasn't at home at all yesterday, is that it? Is that what this is about?
I just want you to tell the truth. You're the one insisting that you were home, but your story isn't adding up, so which is it?
Well, you seem to already think that I wasn't at home even before all of this happened. You were messaging me yesterday and accusing me of being away, remember?
And now I have to wonder just why you weren't actually at home like you said that you were. What was up with that?
Okay, so you're saying that you hired a crew and that if I was home, it would have been impossible for me to miss them destroying my house, right? Well, fine then. I wasn't at home yesterday. There. Is that what you wanted to hear? Are you happy now?
I'm glad that you finally come out and said it. But now it only further begs the question of why lie about it at all in the first place.
Then why don't you just come out and say what you want to say then, huh? Why don't you just tell me that you've known the truth from the very start?
The truth? What truth might that be? I really have no idea at all. Unless, could you be talking about the reason why you chose not to go to my mom's funeral at the last minute? What was the real reason again? I know that you said that you slept in, but the truth was that you were out traveling with the man you're cheating on Harry with. Isn't that right?
But how? I don't understand how you know all of this. It doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Well, you weren't exactly doing a good job of being subtle. You had been acting quite suspiciously for some time. So I took it upon myself to do a little bit of digging into what you were up to. And I assumed then, since both you and I both know just how stupid and blockheaded my brother can be, you didn't bother trying to cover your tracks at all.
You mean that you investigated me? What are you, some kind of stalker? What's the matter with you? Have you actually lost your mind or something?
Oh, quite the opposite. I know exactly what I'm doing, thank you very much. And I am sick and tired of you taking advantage of my family. So I thought that I would hit you where it hurts. In fact, you should know that I wasn't personally investigating you. I hired a friend who runs a PI business.
Okay, you caught me. I admit to everything. But whatever you do, please don't say a word about any of this to Harry, okay? I mean, I don't even know how I'm going to explain to him that the house is gone, but I don't need you causing any more trouble.
Oh, I'm afraid that any more trouble that comes your way from here on out is going to be entirely your fault. But you get what you deserve, I suppose.
No! You can't do this to me. This is going way too far, don't you realize that? This isn't me getting what I deserve. This is you tearing down my house. You're completely crazy.
And what's crazy about any of this, huh? I told you that the house is mine, right? I can do whatever I want with it. Besides, you said that you didn't care at all what happened to it, right? You said it made no difference whether you had it or not.
But I mean, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean that you could just tear it down without even consulting either Harry or I first. Obviously, if I didn't have the house, it would be because I would have sold it and used the money on something that I actually wanted to buy. Why would you think that it meant I wouldn't care if you destroyed the house?
Oh man, this is going even better than I imagined it. I never thought that it would be so funny.
You're crazy, do you know that? There is something seriously wrong with you. How could you do this to me? I thought you were weird, but at least I thought you were sane. Oh crap, I think I see Harry's car coming over the hill. What am I going to
do? So he's finally back home then, is he? I can't wait to hear about what happens next.
Sarah, what in the world were you thinking? Our amazing house, you just destroyed it. Why would you do something like this to us?
You can ask Tyra about all of that. We've already had a long conversation about why I did what I did.
That isn't an explanation at all. I don't want to ask Tyra. I want to ask the person that destroyed my house. Now you tell me why you did this.
Oh, come on. You knew this whole time that the house was actually under my name, right? You know that you never actually owned it, didn't you?
Well, I remember Mom once mentioned something like this to me, but I thought it was just a slip and said something wrong. She was sick, and I didn't want to try to correct her. Besides, that still doesn't explain why you thought it was okay to do something like this.
I did it because it's what you two deserve. You were nothing but leeches on Mom all the way up until the day that she died. That's why I did what I did.
You think that we were leeching off of Mom? Well, maybe we were a little, but it isn't like we had a choice. We were in a serious pinch, and we weren't going to be able to afford even the basics.
And just whose fault is that, huh? Because last I remember, you lost big thanks to your gambling problem. Even when you were working, when you were given something to do outside the office, you would still go to the casinos and try and sneak time to feed your addiction in. And then, when you got found out, like you were always going to be, it also came out that you were using company money to do this. There wasn't any kind of restructuring at all. You didn't get demoted. The company made you pay it all back under penalty of a heavy lawsuit and losing your job.
But how did you know all of that? I mean, not even Tyra knows that that's what actually happened. How did you find out about that? Huh? Have you been stalking me?
No, I have my ways. I've asked someone to do a little bit of looking into you is all. And now I know all your dirty little secrets.
Please, Sarah, please. Whatever you do, you can't tell Tyra about any of this. Oh, but our poor house. Why did you have to go and do that? Please, just butt out of our lives already. Don't you think you've already done enough? I don't need you interfering anymore. Do you understand?
Man, you and Tyra are an even better match for each other than you even know. But I'm afraid that I'm still not done with you quite yet.
Hey, what is this that I'm hearing about you almost losing your job because of gambling? I thought you got demoted or something. Not only that, but now I hear that you're even borrowing money from my parents as well just to get by. Are you telling me that you've been lying to me?
Oh, please, like you have any room to be mad at me. I've heard that you've been cheating on me for a long time. How could you do this to me?
Well, whatever. At least my cheating only involved us. You're the one bringing my parents into all of this by taking money from them? What's your deal?
I don't see what the big deal is with any of this. After all, we're family, aren't we? Why shouldn't I ask to borrow money from my in-laws? If you don't have money, then you would go and try to borrow from them as well, wouldn't you? So why aren't I allowed to do that same thing that you would do?
It's not even about that money. It's the fact the whole reason you don't have money is because you were demoted all the way to the bottom of the food chain because you were gambling with company money. And now I hear that you and I are actually drowning in all of this debt that I had no idea about. Just when were you going to mention any of this, huh? I seriously can't believe that you would do this to us.
Oh, that is just so rich coming from you. Weren't you the one who missed out on my mom's funeral all because you were too busy cheating on me to come? You're nothing but a lying sack of garbage. And yet you really think that you can turn around and try to play the victim because of a little money?
Shut up! I do not need to take this from you. Who was my affair actually hurting in the end? At least I wasn't out borrowing money that I wouldn't be able to pay back. That's all on you.
I just can't stand you anymore. We are through. I want a divorce, and you better believe that I'm going to be suing you for your affair.
You're going to try and sue me? Well, fine. Go ahead and try it. But I'm going to go to my parents and demand that they ask for all the money they've given to you back. You'll be nothing by the time I'm through with you, though. I'll teach you what happens when you lie to me.
After that, both Tyra and Harry tried to message me, blaming the other for all their problems while also thinking that I would take their side against the other. While I had no interest in getting myself involved in their drama at all, it was at least funny to watch it unfold from the sidelines. I told both of them that they were only in the position they were in because of their horrible personalities and that they more than deserved what was happening to them. They both thought that they could sponge off my mom while not showing even the slightest bit of respect for her. After the divorce, Tyra and Harry both pressed each other for the money they owed and in the process alienated Tyra's parents from them both. Although Tyra thought she would end with the upper hand, her parents were so shocked by her behavior and her affair that they told her that they were cutting her off. So, while Tyra had to quickly scramble to find a place to live and find a job, Harry was now straddled with 3 times the debt that he had started with before the divorce. He wanted to go and find a new, higher-paying job, but knew that his embezzlement would make it impossible to have a good word put in for him. His previous demotion had actually knocked him all the way down to being a janitor. But since so much of Harry's debt was tied up with the company, he was also afraid to quit, as it would mean having to repay everything right away. Watching all of this unfold from afar, I was just grateful that I had managed to avoid getting wrapped up in any of the drama. Of course, I had pulled out the final piece that led to everything crumbling around the two, but it was obvious that their fall was only a matter of time anyways. As for what happened to me, I had a new house built on the land where Tyra and Harry had been living. And after asking the court to grant me a restraining order against both of them, I invited my grandparents to move in with me so that I could help take care of them. It makes me sad to wonder about what my mom would be saying or thinking of if she knew about how things ended for Harry and I. But at the same time, I know that she would want our parents taken care of. Not only that, but she would want to know that her children were taking responsibility for their actions, whatever the consequences of that might be. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.